Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the major HIT-45RB8 2-flute half-inch carbide, half-inch solid carbide, spiral up shear router bit is what this is. So this is a router bit made of solid carbide. It's going to give you the highest caliber, well, of machine tools, short of getting into exotic material, of which I'm not an expert, diamond cutting and whatnot. Solid carbide is going to be extremely durable when it comes to your wood sort of mortising. It is a spiral, as you can see. It's half-inch. It's going to go into your router with a half-inch collet in it, but it is what's called a up shear. So basically the rotation of the spiral on this is opposite of what you would generally see in router bits. There's up spiral and down spiral, and the entire difference here has everything to do with chip evacuation. Basically, when you're doing a deep mortise, as you're going to do when you are doing a mortise pocket in a door, or when you're doing any sort of hardware, like you're going to prep a solid core structural lumber or a stave lumber core door for exit device hardware, or you're making a mortise pocket, or you're doing overhead stops, you're doing anything deeper than just a hinge, let's say. As your tool bites into that, the up spiral specifically is designed to help get the chips, the particulate of what remains after you've cut, out of the workspace, which means it declutters that cutting tip area. Okay? It can give you a propensity for uplift, meaning it'll pull back on you. I don't really ever experience that because quite frankly, I'm very, I take my time when I'm mortising stuff because I don't want to make a mistake or damage something that's really costly and time consuming to replace. So you might get a little uplift on it. It can, I suppose, also give you possibly an unclean edge, but the entire purpose of this is to get the chips out of the area. So if you're doing a deep mortise, this is going to be the tool that you'd want to use. It's heavy. It weighs 1/3 of a pound, or at least 0.3 pound is what it weighs. Comes in this slide case with the black cover. Let's switch to the screen view now, and let's take a closer look at all the supporting information that we have on this. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Here's the item that we are looking at. Speaking of looking at, let's take a look at some photos that we have. There's the packaging. Solid carbide router bit, half-inch diameter, 2-flute, up shear for use on wood only, meaning don't throw that into a metal-clad door. Carbide not guaranteed against breakage. Nothing's prettier than a piece of solid carbide tooling. And there it is. If you study that, it might give you a different look compared to other router bits. Now, the extended description tells us, again, it's 2-flute, half-inch diameter, solid carbide, up shear, to route openings in wood doors and jambs. Overall length is 4 inches. Half-inch collet, half-inch diameter. There's a product brochure here. Let's click on that. That's likely going to show us where this belongs in the catalog and any related products to it as well. Okay, HIT-45 collets. Okay, good. So the HIT-45 that we're seeing in the product brochure that's here, there's 10 pages. Based on this platform, you can then mortise your doors for hardware. So with the HIT-45, you can slap on the edge plate and route that 86 edge. You can then attach the face plates to do your function holes. So the HIT-45 system is really great. Collets, or pardon me, router guides that will need to go into your router base, and then your router bits. There's a 1/4 inch and then a 1/2 inch diameter solid carbide bit, the HIT-45RB8, sorry. The rest of the catalog will show different variants of that HIT-45 platform. Here's an entire kit, obviously doing aluminum storefront work. How do I know that? Well, I see this template for the jam. That's a Adams Rite kind of strike prep. I see these mounting bridges. I see cylinder collars. I see a electric strike template, you know, and what's it called? Yeah, a deluxe kit for Adams Rite. Yeah, so there you go. Aluminum storefront. Another version could be aluminum storefront as well. Yeah. Individual plates. That's for making the 86 edge. That's great stuff. Here's a HIT-45RB8. It's a 1/4 inch. It's a down shear. If you were to study this, actually, let's take a look. Yeah, you can tell that the rotation is different on this up shear and the down shear. Templates that can be slapped onto that HIT-45 for doing different function hole arrangements. A really solid platform of material from Major, of which I'm reasonably familiar with. So what that means is if you need to prep a door, if you're doing a job and you need to prep doors or frames for a particular series of hardware, Major will give you sometimes Major can give you multiple paths to get there. So reach out to me if you like, and I will be happy to help you determine what you need. You know, a job that I did, I supplied tooling templates to a client. He basically had 10 or maybe 5 aluminum storefront doors, wide style, and this job was using Schlage L9 series, 9000 series mortise locks. And he relied on me to detail all of the parts needed so that his people in the field would be able to prep those doors as complete as possible for that. There's more than one way to get there with Major. But the HIT-45, I don't recall what system I used. It could have been the HIT-45. Now, there's a link below this video, as seen here, to the manufacturer's page within our site. And when you click on that, you'll be able to pull up not only all of the Major products we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. And I would encourage you to take a dive into that catalog, as it will give you a total overview of all things specialty products for the professional locksmith is what it is. And there are many favorites that I have in this catalog. This is a tool that's used for embossing a deadbolt or a lock set preparation in the edge of a door. This is a lockbox that requires 2 keys to be able to get inside of there. This allows you, this knob blocker allows you to control access as to who can work that knob. This is a door cart, and that is a template for very likely a RCI or Rofu or Hess or Adams Rite electric strike. These 2 holes that are here are going to allow you to pre-drill the holes that are required for mounting templates as well, or mounting tabs. Index. So in the beginning of the catalog is security hardware. That's all fun, neat to be able to look at, that key block I just mentioned. I want to scroll down and get to a favorite of mine. Filing cabinet security material, jam pins, mounting brackets and tabs. Other security hardware. These are nice. These are guards for knob trim. If you have a gate and you don't want someone to reach in and be able to open up that knob, you add one of these. Latch protectors, cylinder collars, tooling to help you mark and prep for items, capping blocks for Sargent and Corbin Russwin, locksmithing supplies, plug followers and other locksmithing tools, screw assortment. Screws now, my favorite stuff from Major. Mortise cylinder extension. You need to do a 3-inch mortise cylinder extension, you can do it by using these parts from Major. If you need to take an inch and a quarter cylinder and turn it into 2 1/4, you can do it. This is the guide, the template, the fixture for allowing you to accurately place and drill and tap those holes. These are the extensions. So start with a 7201 by Kaba, add this 1-inch extension, and voila, in about 45 minutes you've got a 2¼ mortise cylinder. You'll need a drive assembly, depending on what platform you're using. I always use the MCED1 because I'm doing mostly Kaba Ilko cylinders. And there you go. I have lots of videos online showing where I've prepped them. Now, it's not easy, and your mileage may vary. What I'm driving at is the placement of drilling those holes in the mortise cylinder must be thoroughly accurate. If not, the extension's not going to sit completely flush, and you may not even be able to get it attached at all because those holes are very precision machined. Anyway, really great. And I've also stacked 2 of these together in the past as well. I've needed to come up with a 3-inch. So I would start with 1¼ inch, and then I would add a 3/4 inch, and then on top of it I'd add 1¼ inch, or whatever. I forget what I said. And yes, I do need to stock long 832 machine screws for getting all that put together, but I've done it. You need 2 extensions, you need 2 drivers, the MCED1s, you'll need those. But it is possible, and I have done it with success. I've also done it where I didn't drill the holes in the right place, and it was less than successful. Now you get into all of the different tools, the templates, the jigs, call them what you like, installation aids. There is a cross-reference or compatibility chart, and then it gets into all of the different items. So the question is what are you needing to prep for? And then you go to that area, and you look at the catalog and determine, okay, what do I need to do this? Mortise cylinder drill guide. Never easy to drill a mortise cylinder into a door straight and accurate. Well, this little doodad fits inside of the mortise cassette. And then what you're able to do is use this post as the arbor for your hole saw. That ensures that you're going to drill that hole in the right location every single time. If you've ever drilled function holes for mortise locks or exit devices, you'll know why people don't like drilling function holes for mortise locks and exit devices. Because if you're off 1/8 of an inch, you might as well be off 3 inches. And this works to eliminate that. I'm really grateful for Major because the people who design this, they're tool nerds. They're tool nerds, they're engineers, they're machinists, and they're locksmiths, and they're people with decades of field experience. So when these guys make something and put it out there, it's, in my experience, it's either perfect or it's 99% of the way there. And there's only been a couple of times where I said, well, I would have done that differently, or I would have added this. But I am in no way comparing myself to Major. I just happen to have lots of years of machining experience on steel and wood doors, years of it, and field experience as well. For instance, if I was going to use the HIT-45, I'm going to mark the top of the door to the center line of my mortise pocket, 39 15/16, let's say. I need some way to be able to get this tool on the edge of the door and mark off compared to the pencil mark that I've put on the edge of my door. I would probably put a small V-groove in the tool in an inconspicuous place somewhere. Not that it doesn't have it, I just don't believe it does. And then back to that catalog we were in, and you can continue on with the rest of the catalog. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. So in conclusion, if you have any questions on the HIT-45RB8 or any other Major product, please feel free to reach out to us. If you're doing work on this material, I always have a backup bit, whatever I'm doing, an additional multi-spur, which I really don't use, 2 1/8 inch hole saws, 1-inch fly bits, 1/2 inch 2 flute carbide router bits, whatever job I'm doing, I always have a backup. And then what happens is I'll end up bringing that backup into service, and then I'll take the original one and I'll have that sharpened. And when you're dealing with carbide, you can have that sharpened. Now I find that the sharpening service has everything to do with, and the caliber of their skill has everything to do with being able to use those in the future. I generally find that a sharpened tool after use, it's not the same. There's nothing like a brand new chisel, right? But I always keep that as a backup, and I will keep those indefinitely because they don't work as well or as long, I find. When I need to get a job done, that's how I approach that. Plus, they're very expensive. This bit is, the technical term is buku bucks. These are not cheap. Solid carbide bits are not cheap. So I always get mine sharpened. In Chicago, back in the old days, we had AAA saw and tool. I have no idea if they're still in business, but you'll want to find someone really good with saw sharpening. And most obviously, don't discard your old stuff. Just have it sharpened. Any questions on this or any other major product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.